Gunmen abduct 6 in Rigachukun near Kaduna. Fear grips residents. 159 Nigerians returned to Nigeria from Libya. Zamfara State Deputy Governor Mahdi Aliyu impeached, serving Senator sworn in as new Deputy Governor. And on the foreign scene, Moscow launches full-scale invasion on Ukrainian cities as Kyiv accuses Putin of war of aggression. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Now the news in full. Fear grips residents of Rigachukun in Kaduna following bandits' attack. The gunmen abducted 6 people, leaving 1 person with gunshot injuries. Fatima Saleh Ladan has more.
This is the particular house where armed bandits were said to have attacked yesterday at about 1 a.m. In this particular house, 2 people were said to have been kidnapped, a boy of 14 and also a girl of about 18 years. But according to report from the neighbors, they said about 6 people who were said to have been kidnapped, where a custom officer was also said to have been attacked, who sustained various degrees of bullet shot injuries, is right now in the hospital receiving treatment. You can see scores of sympathizers trooping in order to sympathize with the family. What seems to have subsided for quite some months now seems to have resurfaced as armed bandits stormed Rigachukun in Igabi local government some 5 kilometers from the heart of Kaduna. The armed bandits attacked about 3 houses, cutting away 6 people, while 1 person sustained various degrees of bullet shot injuries. The grandmother of 2 of the victims says,
Ni ina kwanci a daki wajen karfe 1 sai na ji an bugo min kofa.
I am sleeping in my room at about 1 a.m. I heard the banging of the door. They came inside and I said, La ilaha illallah. They said, sleep grandma, sleep grandma. The girl that was sleeping with me, they said, come, let's go, and also the boy. They did not say anything to me. Shar Habilu is 14 years and Khadija is a bride-to-be soon. Some of the residents of the area also speaks.
I was sleeping around 12 a.m. I have them touching the fence. I thought it's my house, not knowing it's my neighbor's house. I had gunshot. I called him on phone and he said he had it also. He started shouting thieves, thieves, and they started shooting again. We did not come out. Before we could do anything, they gained entrance into the house. When we came out, after they left, we learned that they have taken 6 people and injured 1. We are really disturbed. We have been here since last night. After we left here, we went to the police station for a meeting with the Assistant Commissioner of Police. This is the first time in this area. We will do meetings as elders and take necessary actions. Up to now, we have not gotten any information from the bandits.
Many calls to the government have been done in order to bring an end to the security challenges bedeviling the nook and crannies of the state, as no one feels safe anymore. Fatima Saleh Ladan, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Killing of a businessman Abubakar Maikayang Arha of Sabangari, Alhaji Yahuza in Batagarawa local government area of Katsina State has ignited protests from locals. Suspected bandits who stormed the village Tuesday morning went straight to the residence of Alhaji Maikayang Arha, killing him instantly after he resisted attempt to be abducted. Abdullahi Ahmadi has details of the report.
Sabangaran Alhaji Yahuza, which is just 3 kilometers at the outskirts of the ancient city of Katsina on Batsari Road, was thrown into mourning following the gruesome killing of Alhaji Abu Maikayang Arha by suspected bandits. The villagers say they were aware of the attack by the bandits, and they have received several calls on their movements and reported them to security operatives but could not avert the attack. Hajia Horera, one of the 3 widows of the deceased, narrates how her husband was killed. At various angles, they broke the doors and windows of our house, and they got access into my husband's room, where they brought him out and told him that they are here to kill him. And he was saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, almost 6 to 7 times. Thereafter, they killed him. Similarly, Alhaji Abdul Hayatu and Sailuba Abubakar, children of the deceased, said this is the second time their father was attacked, and called for more proactive measures to end the incessant killings of innocent people in the country and Katsina State in particular. You see, in the past we were hearing issues or rather cases of attacks, banditry, assassinations and so on and so forth from a distance. We never thought of things like this will come to our place like this. But look at it. My father was assassinated. We have heard all they have said. He attempted giving them money and other valuables, but they refused to take it and just told him that they are here to kill him. We are suspecting assassins. They were here to assassinate him, and they have succeeded in doing so. May his soul rest in peace. Amen. Few minutes after the burial, some angry youth took to the streets and protested what they described as the inaction of security operatives, especially men and officers of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. You see, we are not happy with the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps officers. See the checkpoint just inside this village. They were around when the bandits arrived, but they ran away upon hearing their heavy gunshots. And now they are shooting to scare us. We are not happy with them. And also see their barrack just inside this village. Look at it, just inside this village. Their barrack is here, but they were nowhere to be found during the attack. That's why we are unhappy with them. Look at it. And now they are threatening to do something because we are protesting. Some of the villagers say the men and officers of the NSCDC were overwhelmed by the heavy gunshots fired by the suspected bandits, a situation that forced them to go into hiding for their dear lives. The insecurity in Katsina State is changing its dynamics on daily basis, as hardly a day passes without recording a reported case of attack. In most of the communities attacked by bandits in recent times, there were reports of rape, maltreatment of people, besides taking away all the valuables belonging to the victims. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Various speakers at a one-day roundtable on fighting insecurity in Nigeria have identified bottlenecks undermining efforts to address various security challenges plaguing the nation. The forum tagged "Going for Broke, Fighting Insecurity in Nigeria" was a concern by 21st Century Chronicle roundtable to find solutions to the deteriorating security situation in the country. Trust TV's Shafi'u Suleiman reports.
Speaking on the theme, Armed Forces and the War Against Insecurity in Nigeria, guest speaker General Leo Irabo, Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, highlights some of the major impediments undermining current efforts to defeat armed groups terrorizing the country.
Over-reliance on imported military wares. This also has been part of the challenge, and that's the reason why I believe that we need to develop our military industrial complex to be able to change the scenario. Why do we need to, at every point in time, depend on external actors to be able to get the wherewithal that we need to be able to bring a change within our environment?
The discussants, former Director Defense Information Major General Chris Olukolade and Dr. Mero Mandara, give perspectives as they identify the other gaps in the fight against insecurity.
We find that intelligence that will be available to enhance both military operations and security operations generally may not be forthcoming as it ought to be. I narrate it as if it's a situation where rivalry.
What we need to do is strategic use of resources. We all know what I mean. Resources are inappropriately used or worse still stolen.
Emir of Suleja Muhammad Awal Ibrahim, the convener Mahmoud Jega, and other participants also speak.
We have to know and perfect our information gathering systems, so that we can then feed the various security agents and to ensure action. And I'm also worried about the endemic level of corruption in this country.
And we who say we are chronicling the 21st century, if the country falls apart due to insurgency or insecurity, we will not be able to chronicle not just 21st century but anything at all. So that is the main motivation. Although we are only a year old, but we thought we must really give something back to our community.
Unfortunately, we've been reacting to the security situation. We haven't been able to take a proactive position on them, and so we react when we see them. What baffles me most is the emergence of the so-called bandits.
The major takeaway is that we've had some significant improvement in the battle against insecurity, but we are not there yet. And we should continue to work hard.
I do raise a question about the national security policy, whether we have one or not, but you heard from the CDS, because that is important. The national security is important because we can't have a national security strategy without a clearly defined national security policy.
While Professor Jibrin Ibrahim discussed reducing tension as election year approaches, Dan Agbese discussed media and peace building in Nigeria. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
At least 159 stranded Nigerians in Libya have been repatriated to Nigeria. They were received on Wednesday by officials of the federal government led by the National Emergency Management Agency. According to NEMA, some returnees arrived with serious medical conditions as they were ferried out of the airports by medical personnel on ground. NEMA said the returnees comprise 80 female adults, 4 female children and 1 female infant, while the male returnees include 67 adults, 6 children and 1 infant. Zamfara State Deputy Governor Mahadi Gusau has been impeached by the State House of Assembly over abuse of office. 20 out of 24 members of the Assembly voted for the impeachment of the state's deputy governor after the Speaker of the House read the report of the investigative panel. The panel found Mahadi Gusau guilty on only 1 out of the 3 leveled against him. The report.
The allegations stated that the holder of the office of the Deputy Governor of Zamfara State, Barrister Mahadi Aliyu Muhammad Gusau, is guilty of gross misconduct. You may equally recall that on the 10th day of February 2022, this Honorable House in sitting number 121, through a motion supported by 18 honorable members, declared that the allegation be investigated. Consequent to the above, on the same day, pursuant to the Section 188, subsection 5 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, I requested the Chief Judge of the State for the appointment of a panel to investigate the allegation. Today, being Wednesday, the 23rd day of February 2022, the panel has presented their report to me as the Speaker of the Presiding House of Assembly. The results show that 20 of honorable members say aye, while 0 no. Therefore, unanimously, the House has voted as ayes. Now, by provision of the law, the Deputy Governor of Zamfara State, Barrister Mahdi Aliyu Muhammad Gusau, being guilty of gross misconduct, is removed from office from today, 23rd day of February 2022. Justice what may say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it.
The 7-man investigative panel report did not indict the Deputy Governor on breach of the Constitution and financial fraud, which were some of the allegations leveled against him, but finds him wanting on abuse of office. The lawmakers had vowed to impeach the Deputy Governor, Mahdi Gusau, on the allegations of gross misconduct, financial impropriety, and abuse of office. The 7-man investigative panel, led by retired Justice Halid Usoba, earlier submitted its report to some principal officers of the Assembly on Wednesday. Members are expected to screen a new Deputy Governor nominee that Governor Bello may send to avoid creating a vacuum. Meanwhile, Senator Hassan Nasiha, representing Zamfara Central in the National Assembly, has been sworn in as Deputy Governor of the state. Governor Bello Matawalle administered oath of office on Nasiha immediately after the State House of Assembly approved his nomination. Nasiha is a serving senator representing Zamfara Central in the upper legislative chamber. He defected to APC from the PDP with Governor Bello Matawalle. Nasiha was appointed Commissioner for Health, Commerce, Water Resources, Environment, Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs between 1999 to 2007 when Ahmed Yarima served as governor. Nasiha obtained a diploma in nursing and midwifery. You're watching Trust News Updates. Coming up after the break, justice for truck conductor. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Trust News Updates. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. You heard that fear grips residents of Rigachukun in Kaduna following bandits' attack. The gunmen abducted 6 people, leaving 1 person with gunshot injuries. You also heard that at least 159 stranded Nigerians in Libya have been repatriated. Moving on to more news, Nigeria Center for Disease Control has reported 42 fresh COVID-19 infections across 4 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The NCDC stated this in an update for Wednesday, February 23, noting that 15 people were discharged after they recovered from the infection, while no person died from COVID complications. With the newly confirmed cases, a total of 254,394 infections have been recorded, with 230,861 recoveries and 3,142 fatalities. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization says a hub has been established in South Korea to train low- and middle-income countries to produce their own COVID-19 vaccines. The countries selected by WHO include Nigeria, Egypt, Kenya, Senegal, South Africa and Tunisia to receive technology that is needed to produce messenger ribonucleic acid vaccines. Parents of 20-year-old Masood Adamu, allegedly killed by operatives of Kaduna State Traffic Law Enforcement Agency, are demanding justice for the deceased. Adamu Imam visits Angursa village in Shira local government area of Bauchi State, where parents of late Masood lives. His report.
Malam Adamu Mohammed, the father of Masood Adamu, told Trust TV that he was seriously devastated on receipt of the shocking news that his son was killed by some officials of the Kaduna State Traffic Law Enforcement Agency after an argument with them beside the main road within Kaduna Metropolis. According to him, they accused the driver of the tipper and his son, who is working as a conductor, for violating the traffic rules.
My son left home for search of greener pastures in Kaduna a few years ago, only to get killed by people who claimed to be protecting the citizens by enforcing traffic laws.
The biological mother of late Masood, Karimatu Adamu, said she is still grown since she heard the news of the killing of her son, while sobbing Karimatu narrates how she felt.
There is nothing I can do to remedy the tragedy. I submit everything to the will of Allah. I pray for his departed soul to rest in peace. Those that cheated him, God will see us through. I can't quantify how bereaved I am at the moment.
The village head of Agursa, Malam Yao Haruna, he was part of the delegation visited Kaduna State as representative of the deceased after the incident. He explained further how they beat Masood in several parts of his body. They removed the plate number of the tipper and started beating them together with the driver. Immediately, they started dragging, saying they must take them to their office. Masood ran afterward, but later the Castelli people overpowered him and beat the hell out of him, and he falls close to a culvert and injured his head. That was all. He died on the spot, according to eyewitness. Speaking to Trust TV in a telephone chat, the guardian of the deceased regretted that Masood is a bona fide indigene of Bauchi State. Therefore, there is a need for the two state governors of Bauchi and Kaduna to venture into the case to ensure that it is not swept under the carpet, adding that adequate compensation should be meted out to the family of the murdered young Masood. From Shira local government area, Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
In business, oil price on Thursday rose to $102 a barrel for the first time since September 2014, with escalating tensions between Russia and Ukraine. The global oil benchmark Brent crude rose over 5% to trade at $102.27 a barrel. Reports say West Texas Intermediate witnessed a corresponding increase of over 5% at $97.06 a barrel, a development coming after Russia President Vladimir Putin ordered a special military operation in Ukraine's Donbas region. And finally, on the foreign scene, Ukrainian Border Guard Service says it is under Russian artillery fire and land invasion along the northern and southern borders, adding that Ukrainian forces were returning fire. This is confirmed in a statement issued as a Ukrainian Interior Ministry official reported the fall of the previously government-held town of Shastya on the eastern front line with the rebel-held enclave. The border guard said that Russian forces are supported by Belarus and that an attack had been launched from Crimea, the Russian-occupied peninsula region on Ukraine's southern flank. Border units, border detachments and checkpoints are being attacked with artillery, heavy equipment and small arms. We've come to the end of a Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.